Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenna and I'm super glad to have you. I don't even know how to make these intros anymore because I started this by documenting my pregnancy, so I was just like making little journals for myself, but now I'm not pregnant anymore, so I don't know how to intro these videos. Let's show you to the camera. Let's show you how beautiful you are. Let's show them how beautiful you are. This is Hazel, for any of you guys who are new, and she is 7 weeks old now. I cannot believe she's 7 weeks old. Wow. I'm gonna get all emotional. Oh, are you smiling? You smiling in your sleep? We are doing a Q&A today. This is the postpartum Q&A that I talked about on Instagram if you follow me over there. I asked if any of you guys had questions about postpartum, no matter how TMI they might be, and I got quite a few questions and I wanted to answer them for you guys because I know I have a couple people who are expecting soon, and I just thought it would be nice because I loved watching postpartum videos when I was getting close to delivering too. I want to apologize because I filmed this video a month ago when I was 3 weeks postpartum when that last video went up, but I lost half of the footage. So now I'm 7 weeks postpartum and trying to film it again. So these questions aren't in any particular order, so they're probably going to be like jumping from topic to topic, but what are you going to do? But anyways, let's jump into the questions. So the first question is, what does it feel like going from having a tiny human in you to having nothing again? It's weird. It feels super, super weird because your belly is like so full. There's no room in there for anything else. You're just constantly uncomfortable because you're so pregnant, and then you just have the baby and then there's nothing in you anymore besides your organs. But that is super strange. I remember thinking to myself when I bent over to pick something up probably 2 days after I had her, and I was like, whoa, I can touch my toes again. It was so strange. And then the other part that makes it super weird is how squishy your belly is, because it's still stretched out from being full of a person, but it's so empty that it's just squish. But I think the weirdest part is not even like the touching it physically that feels weird, but like just laying there, it's so empty and you can feel like all air and almost like your organs shifting back to place. The next question, would you rather give birth twice and be healed or go through the postpartum healing experience? That is a good question. In my personal experience, I think I would rather go through birth twice and be healed, because when you go through birth, you get a baby out of it, and it's intense, but it was happy. Like, there wasn't a point in my labor and delivery that I was like, I wish I wasn't doing this right now. Like, I was just so excited to meet her, and I was honestly really excited for labor and delivery just to like experience it. So I feel like I would rather do that again twice and be healed, because my postpartum recovery was really hard with the 4th degree tear, and it takes a lot longer than just being in labor for 2 days. Okay, speaking of the tear, the next question is, this might be gross, but did you actually feel/hear the tear? And no, thank goodness, thank God. That would have been very disturbing if I heard or felt the tear, but I didn't even know I tore until the doctor told me. So the next question is, can you use a tampon/Diva cup for postpartum bleeding? No. I think it's pretty common in every hospital. They will tell you nothing up there for at least 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, if you're still bleeding, you are allowed to use a tampon if you're healed. At least that's what my doctor told me. I can pretty much guarantee you're not going to want to use a Diva cup or a tampon. I don't think you're gonna want that. Someone asked, have you done anything to prevent postpartum depression? And no, I haven't, because I don't really think there is anything you can do to prevent postpartum depression. I'm not educated on postpartum depression, so I don't want to like give a whole lesson, but I don't think there's anything you can do to prevent it. I guess just making sure you're getting as much sleep as you can, drinking water, eating, taking care of yourself. Otherwise, I think it's just something that happens to some people because of all the hormone fluctuation, and I don't know. I guess I don't know what causes it, or if there is anything you can do to prevent it. Okay, this next question makes me laugh. Someone said, how bad is it? And I don't know if you're talking about birth or postpartum. I assume postpartum because that's what I asked about. It was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty hard, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it. I would do it 100 times over again. Tear and all, I would do it 100 times over again. The recovery, the emotions, milk coming in, bleeding, wearing diapers. It's all worth it. But it's not easy. Another question is not postpartum, but what are some must-haves in the hospital when you get home? For in the hospital, they pretty much give you everything. For after I gave birth, it was pretty much just I was wearing my hospital gown and the underwear and pads they gave me, and they provided me with everything else I needed. Even for the baby, they had like a swaddle to wrap her in, and diapers and wipes. But then when you get home for yourself, you need the peri bottle, which they'll give you at the hospital. You'll need pads, which they'll also give you, but Depends diapers, like Depends discreet diapers for adults. Those are so helpful. I really recommend getting those if you're going to have a baby anytime soon. Tux pads, which are witch hazel pads. And I didn't get this, but a lot of people mention, I forget what it's called, but it's like a numbing spray for down in that area. I didn't get that, but that would have been really nice if I got that. Okay, another question. What has been the hardest thing for you since giving birth? That's another tough question because there's been a lot of hard things. I think the hardest thing has been recovering from the tear because it made it really hard to get around and do things. And when you have a newborn, you have to be able to just get around and do things. So I feel like that recovery was the hardest part. Also just changes, like life changes so much after you have a baby that, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's hard to pick one thing, you know? I could go on and on about all the hard things, but I could also go on and on about all the good things about this time period. All right, next question is, do you miss her kicks? I do now. When I first filmed this video and I got this question, I was like, I sometimes miss them, but I'm so much more glad she's here, which is still true. I'd much rather her be here with me, like able to hold her. I do miss her kicks and knowing that she's like safe in there. And now she's just growing up so fast. Like I cannot believe she's 7 weeks old and she doesn't even fit in her newborn clothes anymore. It's so sad, but it's also good. It's good that she's growing. And then another question is, what has been the easiest and hardest part with breastfeeding? You guys are asking really good / hard questions. The easiest part about breastfeeding, now that I've gotten the hang of it, has been just having food with me wherever I go. Like if she's hungry somewhere, I always have food to feed her because my body just makes it, which is so cool. God made our bodies so cool that we can just like provide food for our babies and like medicine through our food to our babies. It's amazing. The hardest part was trying to figure out how to get her to latch because she didn't latch for a whole week, but again, I'm going to make a whole video on breastfeeding because that was quite the struggle for us for a while. The next question regards body after birth, and it's how long did the okay, wow, I cannot read that. How long did the post belly bump last? I gotta remember, I almost have to look at pictures on my phone. It really didn't last as long as I thought it was going to, but I looked still pretty pregnant right after delivery. But right away in the morning, my belly was like pretty deflated. I still looked like I was pregnant a little bit, but it was way more flat than I thought it was gonna be. I can insert a picture like over here. And then the next day, I barely had any belly left. Obviously I still had a little bit because my uterus was still big, but it seemed pretty flat. It was just really squishy. Like my stomach is still squishy, and it sticks out further than it used to. Even though I've lost all the baby weight and stuff, it just sticks out further. And I think it's because my uterus is still like shrinking back down to normal size. But the actual like pregnant looking belly lasted only like 2 days probably. Next, I want to count how many times I say the next question is. But the next question is, how uncomfortable / painful has the healing process been? I'm pregnant with my first. Well, congratulations. I almost don't like questions like this because I don't want to scare people. Like, I don't want to be dramatic, but I don't want to like give false hope either. With the tear, the pain and uncomfortable period lasted about a week, and that was very bad. It was very bad. I could barely walk, and it hurt to sit, it hurt to lay down, it hurt to stand, but it only lasted about a week until I could walk more comfortably. I don't know, but that's just how it is. It was pretty bad. But now, like, looking back, I'm like, yeah, I could do it again. I'll do it all over again for her. Another question is using the bathroom after tearing. I don't know if this question regards peeing after tearing or pooping after tearing, but I'll cover both. Peeing burns, but that's why you get the water bottle. For doing the other type of going to the bathroom after a tear, they give you stool softener so that you don't have to even try really. They told me to just wait until it was just gonna come out of me without doing anything. So that's what I did, because I can't even imagine what it would have felt like if I had to strain to go to the bathroom with that tear healing and with the internal stitches in that region. It wasn't that bad though. I was really scared. It took a few days because I was so scared, but the stool softener helped a lot. I just waited and waited and waited until I was like, okay, I gotta go. Someone asked about the bleeding. They said, the bleeding, is it really as heavy / uncomfortable as I've been reading? Yes and no. I feel like people seem to make things over dramatized and try to scare you, but the first day, like right after you give birth, the blood really does just like pour out of you. But I would say even by day 2 or day 3, it slows down so much to just like a heavier period, like, or even a regular period. The only part that stinks is you're bleeding for like 4 to 6 weeks. And the last 2 questions are about post-baby body. So the first one, in the future, I'm worried I'll hate my postpartum body. How do you feel about yours now? I really wish, whoa. I really wish I could answer this honestly, saying that I love my body and I'm so happy because it birthed a baby, and that's just not realistic to me. I, of course, am so thankful that I got the chance to be a vessel to carry a baby and that I got my daughter out of it. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't want to, like, I wouldn't go back and not have a baby. If I knew what it was going to do to my body, I wouldn't change it. But I'm not gonna say I love my body, and I'm getting there. She's grunting like crazy. I'm getting there. I don't think it's really that, to me it's just not that important to like love my body that much. I just don't really think about it too often. When I do think about it is when I seem to pick it apart. So right away after I gave birth, I expected to look pregnant for a long time. I expected my body to not go back to normal for a long time. And within like 2 days, I felt like I looked pretty much back to normal in clothes at least. And so I was like pumped. Like I was like, oh, my body's gonna go right back down to normal right away. And I was super happy with my progression, and I lost pretty much all my weight within the first few days. And then I realized that my pants still didn't fit me, and my old bras still didn't fit me, and my old shirts didn't fit me the same way. And it's because my bones shifted. They widened to make room for her, which is good. Like, that's what my body is supposed to do. But I expected them to go back down to normal, and they didn't. And so that was kind of hard because I didn't have the same like curvature. Not that I was curvy before, but like I didn't have the same waistline that I had before. And my pant size is gonna go up now because my hips widened. And that's been a little bit hard because I just feel like it makes me look a little bit bigger than I was. And it's because I am a little bit bigger than I was because my bones did shift. They did go back down almost to normal, but not to what they were. So that's been a little bit difficult. And the thing that's been the most difficult is my stomach and my chest, because with nursing, they swelled up a lot, and now they are kind of like flatter when they're not filled with milk. And so I feel like that's just been like a change. I don't feel as young and youthful, I guess. And my belly has been hard because I have the mom pouch, which is fine. That's okay. My body is not the main thing that matters, which is why I just try not to think about it too much. As long as I'm healthy, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, I don't care too much. And then last question, does it seem like your body is bouncing back nicely? And this is kind of answered in that last question. I feel like yes, it bounced back really nicely. It is definitely different than it was before, but as for the tear, that healed properly. It's pretty much all the way healed. So yeah, I feel like overall it's pretty much back to normal, besides now that I have a mom body. So yeah, I'll take it because I'm gonna have like tons more kids. But yeah, that concludes the questions for this video. So that concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you are expecting, I hope this gave you a little bit of insight as to what to expect. Anyways, I appreciate you watching so much, and I appreciate every single one of you for following along on my pregnancy and now on our new life together. But thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you back next time. Bye!